We have the Ruko U11 Mini 4K, pretty new, just released. Let's take a look, see what's in it. It's under $250, has a 1/2-inch CMOS camera, 8K picture, 4K video, and a 3-axis brushless gimbal. It'll also, they say, will fly almost 4 miles away. So that's pretty impressive that you'll still get video transmission that far. I'm going to test it, but first let's see what we got. Like a lot of the Rukos and similar, they have a nice case. I do like that when they supply a decent way to travel with these things. Some don't do that. Instructions. Little template speed card. Standard kind of controller with a cable in it to plug into your phone, so it's not using Wi-Fi, to connect to your phone. Standard stuff here. It's interesting. It's got some metal pieces and parts. Typically these are plastic. These guys used metal in this case. All right, we got the drone with 3 batteries, lightweight. Like I said, it is under 250. Come on, get off of there. A 3-way gimbal, 3-axis gimbal on a small sub 250 with long range. I mean, if I were to have my favorite setup on a drone, that's what I'm going with. Has several sensors right there. Has some neat features associated with it, plus the 3 batteries. And the batteries, let's see, shows you how much power they have. I really like that. And you can charge them with USB-C. So all of these charge with the same, with USB-C. Nice setup for what that is. Oh, also have a whole bunch of goodies. Cables, props, spare gimbals in case you lose them, that kind of stuff. A lot of gear like that inside. It has everything. I really like the fact there's 3 batteries, so you've got quite a bit of flying to do. First thing I would do is to make sure I have the latest and greatest app on my phone for this drone. The next thing that's going to happen after you get it all spun up is you're going to go into the setting, which is over on the far right, those 3 dots. This pops up. You have basically the settings for the drone, as well as other things that you can make changes to. Speed, miles per hour versus metric, so on and so forth. There's also the calibration, which is super important every flight to make sure you're doing the compass calibration and the gyro calibration. If you go through that first menu that popped up and make those changes, you're good to go. The other thing is I usually get off beginner mode and make the changes from flight distance, flight height, return to home altitude, things like that. Last thing, make sure that battery is seated all the way in. It should have a little click when you push it in. Another nice feature of this Ruko drone is you can make adjustments to the camera, which is nice that everything isn't just set on auto. You can do white balance, you can do exposure, you can do saturation, and a bunch of different things. So, nice feature to have. So, if you want to know what happens when you run out of battery, if you look over on the right side, the drone battery is flashing. And it will do a return to home when it gets low. It'll also then at some point, it's coming down. You can't control it. It is coming down in kind of a controlled free fall like that. One of those handy features is that, that menu that has all kinds of things the drone will do with the camera. So for example, point of interest. So what the point of interest does is it just flies and orbits around wherever you initiate the hover from. So in this case, I hovered right over my head, hit the button. Now here's where you have to make some changes to the distance, and you do that with the sticks. If I pull back on that right stick, it's going to move out and increase the diameter of the circle. The other thing you got to do is obviously, tilt the camera, and then, so you get what you want. This doesn't just lock onto something and orbit around it. You have to set it in this mode and then make some adjustments to the camera, which clearly isn't a big deal. And you can get the results you want if you're looking for that B footage kind of stuff. It just takes some doing, to get exactly what you're looking for. And here I go through it. To get out of it, you're going to go back into the menu and hit the point of interest again, and that will stop the process. Here's where I do the follow an object. So I'm going to go into follow object, click that, swipe the yellow bar to the right, and then I'm going to, with my finger, make a diagonal box around me. All right, so made the diagonal box. I'm walking along. The box is moving over me as I'm walking, which is kind of cool. But I realize, you know what? I'm holding the controller. Why don't I go back, put the controller on the ground to see if it's still going to track me? So let's give that a test. All right, dropped the controller on my landing pad and walked. Now it's tracking, so it's tracking me, not the controller. The problem is it's not moving forward or backward or anything. It's just kind of panning. And as I move back further and further, eventually it loses me. So if you're trying to track something that the drone can just kind of pan, it's high enough up that it has a large area to look at, you're good. But if you are actually moving around at distance, it's not going to be so good for you. Now we're going to do the standard follow the controller, which is, as long as you have a good GPS signal, it's not an issue. The other thing I wanted to do, because I kept messing with the angle of the camera, is there is a feature here where you can use the screen to do it. If you go over to lens angle on the top there, if you look over on the right, now I have something that shows my camera and allows me to use my finger on the screen to adjust that camera, and it does it pretty quickly. Now, I accidentally hit some different buttons and it's trying to record to my phone, and I had turned that off. So that's why that screen is popping up. If you want it to record to your phone, you go into the settings and you tell it to have access to your phone library, and you're good to go if that's what you want to do. But you'll notice here it's following me, not the greatest picture, but it is following me, and then I'm adjusting as I'm walking, and it works just fine for that. Again, no obstacle avoidance though on this drone. If you walk under a tree, it's going to go pile into the tree. So works well though. I didn't have any issues, and I really like the feature of the changing the camera angle. Let me walk through the menu and a couple things I really like about this. One is, if you go up the upper part, you got your standard stuff, your compass, your satellite, your coverage, your battery performance, and so on and so forth. Just popped up there, it says beginner mode limit. So that's beginner mode, keeps you locked in at altitude and distance and speed and everything. Well, you can go into settings, those three dots in the upper right, come over there, click off beginner mode, and now you can set full max distance, height, and so on and so forth. Hit save, and you're good to go. You're done. As I go through this menu over on the right side of it, obviously your SD card. By the way, if you want to format the SD card, hit that thing that shows the SD card and it'll pop it up to say, basically, I'm going to delete everything on it. Are you good with that? And you confirm and it deletes it. You have your camera, your video button to turn on and off. You also have that on the controller. In the bottom there, it has that Pro, which is where you do the settings for your camera. I'm on my way right now, headed straight towards where you're looking at, those trees, where a friend of mine lost an airplane, an RC plane. And I'm going to go in there to see if the plane's still there or it blew down. Another feature I really like of this drone for when you're flying further away, and that is that radar down in the lower left corner. And what I like about it is it shows me the orientation of the drone, where it's pointing. That green, haze coming off of it is what the camera is looking at. That's the direction the drone is, and that's what the camera looks like from the feed, the FPV feed. The other thing it allows me to do is point my controller directly at the drone, because as I turn or rotate my body or the controller, it changes that orientation. And I want to make sure that I'm pointing directly at the drone at all times to maximize FPV connection and drone, distance and all that good stuff. So anyway, just want to show that. I'm going to fly around here for just a little bit longer so you can see the footage. It's kind of a neat foggy day, so there's some neat effect on it. There's a river nearby, but I'll let you do that. So, hey, if you like this video, hit that like button. Description, there's a link for this drone, this Ruko drone, in the description below. And if you have questions, leave a comment. Appreciate all that. I try to answer all questions in a timely manner. So anyway, have a great day. Take care.